Hello there, friends. Happy New Year, and welcome to episode 89 of That One Gaming Podcast. My name is Colin, but I'm otherwise known as Delicious Morsels, and here with me today is Lucas, aka Carn Evil 9. How is Lucas doing today?
I've had a whirlwind of a December.
That sounds wild. Hopefully your January is less of a whirlwind. How is Neal, VMK89, who is also here with us today, doing?
I'm doing pretty swell.
Swell indeed. If you are new to the podcast, welcome. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, or one of the many other podcasting platforms out there where the three of us get together every other week to talk about a variety of topics in the world of gaming. However, we have a bit of an announcement before we get into today's episode. So, after just shy of 4 years, 3 years and 10 months to be precise, we have made the decision that we are winding down and we are bringing That One Gaming Podcast to an end this January. We've discussed it, and over the last year, it's become increasingly apparent that life is pulling us all in different directions that are away from the podcast, and we thought it would be best to call it here. So we still have 2 episodes on deck for you. We have episode 89, which you are listening to now, and we have one more in 2 weeks from today that we will be posting as well. That will be episode 90. It will be our farewell episode where we recount all of the games, all of our favorite games, rather, that we have played since we started the podcast back in 2022. I want to say thank you to anyone that has listened and supported us over these last few years. It has been fun making this show, but life is just taking us in different directions now, and we don't want to keep making something that we are not fully in 100%. With that out of the way, it's time now, once again, for our annual Game of the Year episode. As we have in years past, we've each compiled 5 of our favorite games that we played in 2025, whether they released during that year or not, and we are going to be discussing them here today. But in these Game of the Year episodes, we like to do a little bit of a predictions for the year to come sort of thing. And, well, since there's probably not going to be another one of these, at least not next year, because we just got done talking about how we're ending the show. Well, we can still kind of go over our predictions from last year's Game of the Year episode and see how we did in that regard. So, Lucas, you had a couple of predictions last year.
I did.
So first off, you predicted no news on any sort of new Mega Man game from Capcom.
Yep.
Well, Capcom announced a new Mega Man game.
Yep.
Yep. And it's
they
all
just
because
so
we made an
happened-
episode about Mega Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The timing of that could not have been funnier, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't the Game Awards like the following week or something?
was.
For the-
It was.
Yeah.
Yes. I just uploaded the video version of that, which you should go check out because it's got all the box arts on it. And I had to put a little annotation on it and be like, this was before the Game Awards.
Yeah.
We did not know Tool Override was out yet. Or
Smart.
coming.
Yeah. And you know what I said in last year's Best Games We Played episode when I made that prediction?
That you
Uh-huh.
suffer again.
I would suffer again. So
But
I
why?
have, because it makes things happen, apparently.
I guess.
Yep. So, you know, I said no news in the Discord for a new Metroid game, and then they announced Metroid Dread at the following direct.
No, it was
so-
Prime. It was Prime 4.
Oh, yeah, it was Prime 4.
Yeah, Dread was before the show.
That's right. Yeah.
Dread was a while ago. No, it
Yeah.
was that was their
Yep.
first like re-reveal of Prime 4.
Yeah. and I did the Pocky one chip challenge, only to find out like in the days leading up to when I actually did that video, which you can check out on my YouTube channel. That they had discontinued the one chip challenge because someone had actually died from it. They had a pre-existing heart condition that attributed to that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And weren't they a minor too? And it's not designed for minors.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this time around, I said that if I got my prediction wrong on it, I would get a bottle of the Hot Ones Last Dab, and have a spoonful of it, or more likely, at my wife's request, have it on some sort of food item so that it wouldn't just be straight sauce potential. Well, yeah. So I have a bottle of Last Dab Thermageddon in my possession.
Rip.
And I'm thinking that after not this episode, but our next episode, that will probably be when I do that.
I am really upset that when we're not making more predictions, because I need you to make a prediction about Sonic Mania 2 not happening. That would be fantastic.
Well, you had another prediction also, and it is that they would, they being Sega, announce a new Phantasy Star game. And, well,
they didn't.
Sega still hates Phantasy Star, so.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Are they in Crossworlds at all?
No.
Not yet.
Nope.
Dang it.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. We got SpongeBob SquarePants in Sonic Racing Crossworlds before we got Phantasy Star.
Yeah. That's fine. He's one of my favorite Sega
we
characters.
We got Minecraft Steve before we got
also
Phantasy
one of
Star
my favorite
characters.
Sega
games. Wild. We are getting the Ninja Turtles before Phantasy Star characters.
Yeah, I understand. Phantasy Star 2 technically came out over a decade ago at this point. Initial release
Online
in
2.
Japan was Online 2 released in Japan in 2012, and then finally made its way worldwide in 2020. So like it's not exactly a new game in the franchise, even at its time of arrival in North America. But still, like, you can't tell me that you wouldn't want to put Matoy in there.
Put something in the game.
Just even like bring back classic Phantasy Star characters like Alice or Odin or Rolf or Nay.
Something.
Or Chaz and Rika. Even bring in characters from PSO or PSU.
Just do it. Anyway, yeah. So there was no Phantasy Star. Surprise. So neither of Lucas's predictions came true. One of those actually is a positive. At least for everything but Lucas's taste buds.
Yes. I'll be fine.
But I love
I'm actually sort of the target audience because I do actually enjoy spice, so
perfect.
I'm not afraid of the hot sauce, but it's not going to be pleasant. It's it's got Pepper X, Apollo Pepper, Carolina Reaper, and Scorpion Pepper in it.
Rip.
The 4 hottest peppers in the world.
Rip. So Neal had some predictions. Neal's first prediction that there was second.
I forgot
you did this last year too.
Yes.
You counter predicted Lucas with your first prediction. So Neal was like, "Hey, there is gonna be a Mega Man game." Well, guess what, Neal? You were right. And now Lucas is gonna burn his taste buds off. You happy?
Yay!
And Neal's other prediction was that they would announce some kind of sequel or follow-up to Sonic Frontiers.
I'm surprised they didn't do this.
That didn't happen. They were all in on Sonic Racing Crossworlds this year. And honestly,
and I believe I
good
was
for them,
expecting
because
more. Yeah,
like
Trust
that
Worlds.
game's a banger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember exactly what I said last year, but I was expecting at least a announcement, like if it was gonna drop in 2027, that would make sense. But like they didn't even talk about it.
Nope.
Just kind of surprising.
Nothing. Yeah, so we'll
But
see. Well, maybe we'll see something in the spring, and then they'll be like, "Hey, by the way, you can play it this summer for Sonic's birthday."
Shadow drop it. No, I imagine they'll have like those direct
Shadows game drop.
what do they call them?
Sonic 3D Origins.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That would be an intense overtaking because that would mean everybody would want Adventure and Adventure 2.
Yeah.
They know that if they just release Sonic Adventure and Adventure 2 without making any modifications, it will review very
terrible.
badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll be
Anyway,
fine.
yeah, it'll be fine. There's nothing. Those are perfectly functional games with nothing wrong with them whatsoever. Just make sure if you play the PC version of Sonic Adventure 2 that you lock the frame rate at 60 FPS, or you're gonna have a very bad time.
Also, just don't play the PC version of Sonic Adventure, either of them.
It wasn't
Mainly
so
Sonic
bad.
Adventure.
It was okay. I don't know about Sonic Adventure because I haven't touched that one yet. But Adventure 2 wasn't so bad after I figured out how to lock the frame rate, which I had to do from within my NVIDIA settings. Like you can't do that within the game. Yeah, you had to manually lock it to 60 FPS within your graphics card settings. It was an experience. All I wanted to do was get some quick footage for a video, and it turned into an hours plus process.
Jesus.
Trying to troubleshoot. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
What was it doing?
The PC version of Adventure is a port of the Xbox 360 and PS3 versions ports, and it has more issues than that version had. And those versions on that console generation were ports of the DX version on Adventure, which had a ton more problems. The GameCube version.
They're just compounding issues. I love
it. Yep, exactly.
I love it.
What was it?
The best
doing?
way
Was
to
it like
play is the Dreamcast, but that's Dreamcast.
Yeah. What was it doing with the uncapped animations? Was it like when people were trying to speed up the frame rate in Tales of Symphonia Remastered, and all the animations were just going berserk?
Oh, just everything was like 200 times speed.
Oh
God.
It was
horrible.
it was
so
everything except all the voice lines and stuff though were regular speed. It was just all of the video was sped up. So like voice lines would start overlapping each other as cutscenes went on. It was
Well, they do that anyway.
It was a mess.
So it was more akin to like how the Mega Man DOS games ran with just like they ran as fast as the game could be ran by the CPU, and
basically.
Yeah.
So like if you were once it actually got into like the level itself, and you just tap the thumbstick and you're running into the wall.
Nice.
Like
wild.
The second you tried to make any sort of like adjustment to your direction, you were just going like to the full extreme in whatever direction you pressed. It was not very good. But once I figured out the frame rate cap thing, it fixed it.
Yeah.
But wild that's even a thing that has to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got derailed. One final prediction recap was my own.
Yes.
I just had a very, very off the cuff, I guess, prediction where said they'd announce Final Fantasy VII Remake on the Switch 2. And guess what? They did.
Nice.
Called it.
Here we are.
Yeah. I think that there's a demo for it out now, and I think the full version comes out either later this month or in February.
Cool.
And then they already said that they're also working on porting Rebirth. And there's a possibility that Part 3 will launch on the Switch 2, but we don't know that yet. But yeah, the only thing that sucks about it is the physical versions are key cards. And they're like, But we put a collector's booster of Magic the Gathering cards in there for you to make up for it. That makes up for it, right? It's like, seriously?
No.
No? Actually, I don't even know if it's a collector's booster. I just know that, like, I saw an article where they said that we are including a pack of Magic the Gathering cards from the Final Fantasy set in the game. It could just be a regular pack. I'm not 100% on that, but still, it's like, no, that does not make up for using a key card. But anyway, yeah, we're not gonna discuss that now. Let's get on to our main topic. But before our main topic, we have our Hey Listeners!
Hey, listen!
Just to interject here, it is not a collector booster. It's just a regular play booster.
Gross. So yeah, even less worthwhile. Anyway, Hey Listeners time. So we asked our listeners in our Discord for their favorite games that they played in 2025. And if you're listening to this, well, there's a possibility that you're listening to this far off into the future when we've already ended the show, in which case what I'm about to say isn't going to matter to you because you won't be able to. But if you're listening to this and you want to write into our final Hey Listeners, which is going to be just kind of an Ask Us Anything deal on the next episode, where you can just write whatever question you want. You are the prompt givers for the final Hey Listeners in our next episode. Then you can join our Discord down below, and you can do that. But anyway, for this one, our first writing comes from Crystal Lily, whose favorite game they played last year was Fantasy Life I, the Girl Who Steals Time. I love that title.
Yeah.
That was a great title. Anyway, Crystal writes, I've waited for the sequel to the Fantasy Life game for so long, and I was so happy when I got it back in June or July. It's amazingly well done. It keeps the charm of the original, and it's honestly for all ages. Cute style, somewhat open world, and there's a bit of everything for everyone. Want to fight monsters? There's 5 different classes. Want to make food, furniture, clothes, armor, or weapons? Got it covered. You want to fish or gather material like ores and wood and farm crops? Again, covered. It's a great gateway game for kids as well as casual adult players that just want to have fun with a kind of RPG style game. Plus, they just dropped a huge free update with new stuff that I'm exploring now. A highly recommended game for me. The only nitpick is it can get repetitive when crafting things, but they do shake up how it's done, so at least there's that. Otherwise, it's a very lovely game I wish more people would give a chance. Next writing comes from Jazzy, who writes, my game of the year for 2025 is absolutely Expedition 33, without a doubt. I know Colin is tired of hearing its praise, but I promise you it's praised so highly for a reason. This game is so special and deserved every single award it earned at the Game Awards this year. I'm so tired, boss. I'm so tired. Jazzy continues. Honorable mentions to some other favorites I played this year. Trails in the Sky First Chapter Remake, The First Berserker Kazan, Blueprints, Ghost of Yote, and Donkey Kong Bonanza. No, see, this is a kind of a bit between Jazzy and I because he keeps bugging me to play Expedition 33 and, well, I haven't.
You keep not.
I keep not doing that. For the longest time, it was just because I didn't own the game yet, because physical copies sold out very quickly, and I was stubborn and wanted to wait for one. So I finally was able to get a pre-order. That pre-order did not arrive until the middle of November. November, I was very busy preparing for a specific thing that I was going to be doing in December.
Yeah.
And then in December, I was busy doing that thing in December. But soon. I'm gonna play it soon. Also, just kind of like all of the glazing and stuff. I mean, I understand. I'm not saying it doesn't deserve the praise by any means, but it's like it's almost like from my position now, I feel like when I do play it, I wouldn't have anything to add to that conversation. So I just feel less like I have to right now, right away type thing. Like I'm not feeling any sense of FOMO over it anymore. I'm kind of past that. So I'll play it when I play it type thing, but I am gonna play it soon. I think it's probably gonna be the next game I play. Honestly, just so Jazzy will stop bothering me. And yeah. Anyway, we have one more write-in, and that comes from bman12hk, who writes, last year was a really good year for games. I only got to play a few new games, but of those, these were my favorites. Hades 2, my personal game of the year. First Berserker Kazan, Expedition 33, and South of Midnight. So thank you, everyone, for your write-ins. Now it's time for our favorite games that we played last year. And like as in years past, a reminder that these games are just games we played last year. They don't necessarily have to be games that released last year, because not everybody on this podcast keeps up with modern releases like I usually do, but did less of this year. But still, most of the games on my list also did come out this year. What?
That sounded very targeted, Colin.
Yeah, targeted to myself.
Ah.
Yeah, because, yeah, anyway. Without further ado, since I usually forget until like we're halfway through the episode, Lucas, what do you have for honorable mentions? Let's just get those out of the way at the start of this, like we always mean to, but forget.
So my honorable mentions this year are, games that I've already played many times over and over again. With Mega Man 1 through 7.
Surprise, the Mega Man mention.
Yeah.
The Mega mention.
Yep.
Mega mention.
So, I think it was early December or maybe late November, Jazzy started playing through Mega Man 4. And then I think after Christmas, I wanted to try and put the fire underneath them on finishing Mega Man 4. So I started my own playthrough of Mega Man 4 and finished it, I think, the same day. But that didn't work out very well. But I did that on Legacy Collection because I haven't actually... I own it, but I haven't actually played any of the Legacy Collection versions of the Mega Man games beyond, I think, the ZX Collection, or Zero ZX Collection, and I played Mega Man X8 on Legacy Collection 2 for that, because I was, up until that point, just playing them through emulator because I didn't have the Legacy Collections at the time, and I had just recently acquired it, and X8 didn't run very well in PCSX2 on my laptop. So Colin suggested, why don't you play the Legacy Collection versions? Like, oh
like
yeah,
a normal person.
So yeah, it felt kind of weird playing through the final game released to date, wink wink, nudge nudge, Capcom, on X2 Legacy Collection. So I still have the other three to play. But yeah, I decided to just go ahead and start knocking out classic Mega Man games in the Mega Man Legacy Collection. So I finished, I think after I finished 4, I finished 1, 2, and 3 in the same day. Then 5 took me a day or two because it was back to regular hours from holiday hours. And just finished just finished 7 last night and started 8. But games that we beat, so I'm capping it at 1 through 7. 7's my favorite anyways, so
7.
Yeah, Mega Man 7's great. If you haven't played it, play it.
Yeah.
Honestly, the classic Mega Man games are great. Even 3 has some redeeming qualities. It's still at the very bottom of my classic Mega Man ranking.
It's redeeming quality. It's still a Mega Man game.
Yeah.
It's more Mega Man.
It's got cool robot masters. It has some of the best music for the classic Mega Man games, or at least the NES titles. And Wily Castle isn't bad, but the thing that still hangs, or like the big sticking point for me, is the Doc Robot stages between the Robot Masters and the Wily Castle, because they're just kind of Kaizoified versions of Gemini Man, Spark Man, Needle Man, and Shadow Man's stages. And there's 2 Robot Master fights per stage, one at the halfway point, one at the end. If you don't beat the one at the halfway point, you don't get the halfway check mark, so you get to go all the way back to the beginning of the stage. And then there's, like, beyond the addition of just like piles of kill spikes everywhere in the stages, there's some bad level design. Like, there's a rush jet section in Needleland stage that pretty much, if you screw up maybe twice at most trying to get to the other side of this rush jet section, you just can't. You don't have the weapon energy for it anymore.
That's bad.
Jeez.
And yeah. And then in Gemini Man stage, if somehow you ran out of rush coil and rush jet weapon energy before the mid boss, then you effectively get soft blocked, because the gate leaving the Doc Robot's room in the mid, or at the mid boss, dumps you out in front of a ledge that you need either rush coil or rush jet to climb over. And that normally isn't a problem, because when you spawn at the halfway point, you spawn mid-screen, so you're on top of that ledge. But if you can't get up and over that ledge after beating that Doc Robot, you're stuck. You hit the reset button and you hope that you recorded your password before starting that stage, because you can't proceed.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yep. So yeah, there's an impossible gap if you screw up more than once, and there's a soft lock if you don't have weapon energy, which is just bad level design.
Yeah. So, Neal, what honorable mentions do you have for us?
My honorable mentions is more just covering my what I've played last week or the past 2 weeks.
Interesting.
Which ultimately comes down to Christmas games. Starting off with Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Hooray!
This is a game I was clued in on by Lucas, as well as a bunch of our other Magic Knight friends. We needed a game to play at Christmas at my house here when my family was over, and I was like, hey, we could do Tetris, because Tetris is as easy to understand. Everybody here knows how to play it. So my aunt and my cousins and me all played some Tetris. Then we played some Puyo Puyo, and then we played both at the same time.
Did you do swap
and
mode?
It was a good bit of fun. We did swap mode.
Yeah. Swap mode's my favorite.
Yeah, they're all new to Puyo, other than me, so I didn't want to get too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a good time, and all 4 of us at one point or another in the playing were doing really well and winning a couple games. So
all right,
nobody was struggling, so that was real nice.
Did you introduce them to the win at Puyo, win at Tetris chant?
Yes, I did. Don't have to worry about that. Of course I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, also after Christmas, I mean, actually a little bit before Christmas, but also after, I've been working on a playthrough of Portal, which I think really I've only played the one time. I'm playing it on Switch, which is definitely not as good, but it also means I can play it at work on my Switch, which is very nice.
Yeah.
I am realizing now that this is actually probably like one of my favorite games of all time, ranking up there with some of the others like Mother 3 and Celeste. Portal is really good.
Yeah. I remember my first time playing through it was on the orange box because I borrowed it from JJ way back when I first got my Xbox, and I didn't have games for it that weren't Halo Combat Evolved that I couldn't play on it because it didn't have a hard drive, and you needed a hard drive for backwards compatibility on the 360. It's a story.
Yeah. It's wild to think that it was just like a pack-in game with the orange box to be like, in addition to Half-Life and Team Fortress 2, there's this random small game called Portal for you too that probably won't become one of the most popular games of all time.
Yeah.
But it did. Some of the best level designing games. Some of the best like story via gameplay. Like this is the game that tells its story through gameplay more than any other game. BioShock is in the same camp, but
yeah. Somehow I don't have Portal on Steam, so I'm correcting that now because it's 80%. It's 80% off right now, so it's only $2 for Portal 1 and Portal 2. And
I think Portal was the first game I ever bought on Steam.
I'd believe it.
In fact, I think I downloaded Steam for the express purpose of purchasing Portal back then.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even, because I'd never really before that done much gaming on PC, and I had a laptop back then that wasn't a fancy laptop by any means, but it ran Portal.
Was that your MSI laptop with the GTX 570?
No, this was a Toshiba satellite.
Oh.
Yes. Just your basic, everyday, run-of-the-mill Toshiba satellite. I don't even think they make those anymore.
No, Toshiba left the laptop industry, I think, sometime while I was in college still.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. I mean, this was like 2010. Yeah. That was 16 years ago.
Oh.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
This isn't the Link to the Past section. Colin, you're not allowed to make us feel old yet.
But this whole episode is a link to the past. It's just the past was last year.
Yeah.
Anyway, one last honorable mention, which goes to Hogwarts Legacy, which is the other game. Well, actually, this is the game I bought after Christmas for myself. It was like $9. I was clued into this by some of my friends over on the Rome server playing it. This actually looks pretty cool. You get to be a student in Hogwarts, learn how to do magic. There's some sort of plot. Seems pretty sweet. I'm enjoying it so far. But yeah, who's next? Colin, your honorable mentions.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Sorry, got hung up on the that.
We got hung up on being old.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go with that. Anyway, honorable mentions. I got a couple. First and foremost, I want to shout out Kingdom Hearts 3. Almost made my top 5. I'm sorry, Jazzy, but there was another game that I literally finished today, but I started it last year. That was like I kind of gotta put that in the top 5. So, but Kingdom Hearts 3 gets the first mention out of my honorable mentions. It's a good game. Don't let the people on the internet tell you otherwise. In terms of sheer fun, I have never had as much fun playing a Kingdom Hearts game as I had playing Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
It's just fun. The story is it's fine. Like, it's not going to blow you away or anything, but it has some great resolutions for the entire series toward the end and stuff, some great payoffs for sticking with the series until the end. Like it's good. It's a good game. I loved it. So there. Never thought here we are. My evolution throughout the years of this podcast. When this podcast began, I was a staunch Kingdom Hearts hater. Now here I am at the very end of the show. I have beaten most of the games in the series, with some exceptions being just like the bad ones. The ones that actually are bad.
Says hi.
Like Chain of Memories, which I don't know if I would say that's a bad game. It's just a game that I didn't have any interest in playing because of the gameplay. But then there's also Coded, and there is I will say, well, I played Days. I didn't play all the way through it, but I did play it. I liked Days. At least the DS mod that let you play it on one screen.
The mod, yeah.
I liked Days. I just never got around to finishing it. But
you were gonna stream it, and there was some kind of issue with that one.
Yeah, it was getting all funky. Okay. But Dream Drop Distance. That is what I will say is a bad game. I don't care. I know I just got done saying don't let people tell you that this game that is good is a bad game. Forget I just said that because Dream Drop is a bad game. Just gonna say it. Just it's the story was fine. It really sucks that the story in that game was actually pretty decent, and toward the end of the game it got some really, really good stuff going where it was really starting to connect pieces and set stuff in motion for moving into Kingdom Hearts 3 and stuff like that. It really sucks that is wrapped up in the package that is Dream Drop Distance, because just from annoying gameplay mechanics to horrible balancing in both like the enemy level scaling and just boss fights in general in that game it's not good. It's not good. Yeah.
The plus side, it does have the same the line, "I'm already half Xehanort." It's my favorite thing from that game.
I'm me, he says. Anyway, but yeah, but Kingdom Hearts 3 is a good game. That's why it made an honorable mention. I got a couple more. First, Final Fantasy Origins Stranger of Paradise. The game is great. Seriously, it's actually, despite all the memes, it is a really, really fun action game, especially playing it co-op. Like, you can play the entire game co-op with a couple exceptions. There's a few story missions, including the final boss, that you have to play solo, but 99.9% of the game you can play in co-op, and it is a blast. It's so fun. The game also kind of isn't really balanced for it, so you just kind of get into a rhythm with your buddy, and I think it's up to 3-player co-op too, and you just get in the rhythm and you're just trouncing these bosses that one-on-one would be way more difficult. But it's a good game. Highly recommend checking it out. Like, just play it for the memes and also play it because it's a good game. Now I'm gonna leave and listen to Limp Bizkit, which is, well, the Limp Bizkit part's kind of out of character for me, but I'll just keep rolling. What? And my final honorable mention
Hey, the goes to stuff goes hard.
It does. The final honorable mention goes to Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. I do really like this game, but it's a lot. Like, this game is a very, very densely packed game. It is a very densely packed open world game. It's probably the most open world game I've ever played, in like the most literal definition of an open world game. Like, it's big. I've had to put it down twice over the course of trying to play through it this year, and just, I like it, but that's about all I can say for it. It's big. It's overwhelming. Yeah. But it is more Xenoblade, which I do enjoy, because I love that series. You might hear me talk about it some more within these next couple episodes. I guess some foreshadowing. But let's get into our actual top 5 games now, because we've been going for some time already. Let's just get into it. So, number 5 game, Lucas.
My number 5 game for 2025 was SMZ3, or the Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer. I'm sure I've talked about this previously because you guys know I love randos. And this happens to combine 2 of my favorite randomizers to play through into one game, which is a Super Metroid randomizer and Link to the Past randomizer. Except there is areas in Super Metroid that will cross you over into Link to the Past and vice versa. So you get to play through Super Metroid until you get stuck, then you cross over into Link to the Past, and you continue until you either get stuck or you make a heck of a lot of progress and feel like going back to Super Metroid. And you just go back and forth between the 2 games until you've beaten both games with a shared item pool between the 2 of them. So you collect your Super Metroid items to, maybe get yourself unstuck in an area that you're stuck in. Like, you haven't found the gravity suit Super Metroid side, so you go back to Link to the Past. See if you can find the gravity suit there. Or the Varia suit. Or, you find the hook shot in Super Metroid, so now you can go pretty much anywhere you want to and Link to the Past. It's a super cool concept for a randomizer, and it's really cool that those 2 games in particular have a shared memory space layout that allows this to happen. There's a few, it's kind of like doing a 1-player multi-world randomizer, sort of. Multi-world is a variation of a randomizer where you and a group of other players connect over a network, and you can find items randomized from other people's games in your games to try and help the other players to progress further in their games until everyone beats their game. But it's, 1 player playing 1 game because they are combined. Super cool randomizer concept. There's one available for Metroid and Zelda 1 on the NES that I kind of want to try, but also kind of don't, because I'm not super familiar with Legend of Zelda's layout nearly as well as I am Metroid's layout. But yeah, probably one of the coolest randomizers I've ever played. If you can if you can beat a Super Metroid randomizer and you can beat a Link to the Past randomizer, it's worth checking out at least once.
Do it. How's about Neal's number 5 pick?
My number 5 pick is also a randomizer of sorts.
How random.
And I am also using this to get rid of the Sonic pick that is obligatory in all of these every time we've done a best of the year. So I'm talking about Sonic Magic Box, which is a fork, I guess would be the term, of the BizHawk Shuffler that lets you switch between games. In that it's at a various time intervals. Good fun. Would recommend that too. Sonic Magic Box, however, is built to switch instead of just at a random time when you collect a ring. I've talked about this before on the podcast, but quick overview. If you play the Sonic game, there's lots of rings. And whenever your ring count goes up, the game switches to one of the other games you have in the list. And considering whenever you get hurt, all your rings go spraying out, it's very easy to switch accidentally. And it's a ton of fun. me and Lucas did a race on a stream, several streams, a while ago, and it was so much fun.
It was.
I am going to get that stream archived eventually on my channel, but not just yet. It's going to take a while to edit because it is syncing two different videos and messing with audio and stuff. Also, I'm putting in a death counter, so
yeah, that'll do
it. Yep. I'm
sure
very
did
curious
that
to
a
see how
lot.
many died. Yeah, I'm curious to see what it is because like it was very hard to keep track of that while we were playing.
Yeah.
Like it was hard to keep track of like where we were in each game we were into.
Yeah.
Yeah, we specifically did the Genesis games.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lucas.
Lost my thought.
Okay. But yeah, it was a ton of fun. I highly recommend it if you're super good at 2D Sonics. They've got the advanced games. They do not have Rush or Colors. But if you're well practiced at either the advanced games or the classics, this is a good challenge for you to get a little bit better. And honestly, seeing the game switch every time, like especially in the early acts when you're going through loops and stuff and getting tons of rings, watching the game switch never stops being funny.
Yeah. Especially if you can get them all sort of synced up together on a loop.
Yep. But yeah, the Magic Box also. Nope. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's not to say that we couldn't add the like Rush or Colors either, because you can add custom event triggers into the Magic Box. You just have to, be a little familiar with how to find memory values in an emulator, which as someone with past experience making TASes and using a RAM watcher, like probably wouldn't be too difficult to do.
Yeah, I would like to see you do Mega Man switchers, because those aren't supported, but that would be so much fun to watch you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually did use the custom event thing a little bit. Recently, I was messing around with it on my computer, and I was trying some Sonic 1 ROM hacks. And that's pretty easy to get the custom event because you literally just paste the events from Sonic 1 into there. Because it's based on the same game. The hex values are all the same. So yeah, I was playing with some Mighty in Sonic 1, flipping back to normal Sonic 1 with Sonic. And that was kind of weird. But yeah, it's definitely got a world of possibilities. I know the Metroid games are on there, and Zelda games are on there. We talked about doing like the Game Boy Zelda games, the Oracle games, and Awakening.
Yep.
At some point.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think the classic Mario games would be fun too.
Yes, those two. Honestly, I'm pretty sure Link to the Past is available, and Super Metroid is definitely available. So you could do a switch that way too.
Ooh. Extra chaos randomizer.
Yeah.
Wonder if I could get that working with SMZ3.
That sounds horrifying, but
how would you like to juggle 3 randomizers at the same time? It's like juggle a Super Metroid randomizer and a Link to the Past randomizer and a SMZ3 randomizer, and you have them all shuffle when you collect stuff.
Hell is the word for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, super fun game tool.
I love hurting myself for video games. That sounds very much like something I would do.
Yeah, definitely. Mr. Hot Sauce and Chip Challenge. Colin, what's your first pick?
How did it hurt you?
Painfully. Number 5 for me goes to Star Wars Outlaws. There's a Ubisoft game on my list. How did that happen? This was yeah, I know. This is a game that I played pretty early on in the year. I got it for Christmas in 2024. So played it pretty early on last year, and honestly, I loved every bit of this game. It was so fun playing as Cave Bess and just kind of being a scoundrel in the galaxy and stuff. Not a lightsaber to be seen nor heard, and just going around exploring the shady underworld of the Galactic Empire era Star Wars, and it was a fun game. The story was really good. The characters were great. Like, just I loved every moment of it.
Yeah.
So it's a little weird to be praising a Ubisoft game these days, but
I appreciate
this is a good one.
I appreciate a Star Wars game not being specifically set around being a Jedi or a Jedi main character or Sith main character in some cases. It's like Star Wars is such a cool living universe, with so much more to explore than just the dynamics of the Force.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I love swinging my laser sword around and whipping people around and stuff as much as anyone else. But yeah, it is nice to every now and then get a story that's devoid of all that and is just exploring the rest of the universe outside of just that really narrow lens. And Outlaws does a great job at that. It specifically hones in on the lifestyle of a scoundrel, like you are a Han Solo type character, and it leans into that. There's a lot of like double crossing like cartel leaders and stuff like that in the game. Like there's a big focus on trying to maintain some semblance of goodwill, good graces with these several cartel leaders that you encounter. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad time and they're going to come after you and try to murder you and take your money and take your ship.
Yep.
So, yeah, I loved it. There's DLC out now, I think, that kind of hangs out with Lando Calrissian a little bit that I haven't checked out yet, that I kind of want to check out at some point. Do a replay of this game because it was fun. Like, it's just a really good Star Wars game. If you like Star Wars, you would like Star Wars Outlaws, unless you just don't actually like Star Wars. It's a great Star Wars game that just happens to be made by Ubisoft. So, congratulations, Ubisoft. You made a game I like in 2025, even though the game came out in 2024. That's beside the point. I'm now talking about it in 2026. So what is time anyway?
Yeah. It's one of those ideas that's kind of the reason why I like Star Wars Shadows of the Empire as much as I do. Because it's not the main story events of like Star Wars movies. It's sort of a companion bridging the gap between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, as seen by not like one of your primary protagonists, but like someone who was around during all of this doing their own sort of things. And like you still fight Boba Fett at one point in one of the levels, and it's just a cool further exploration of the expanded universe.
Yeah, it's cool when you do still kind of get like the cameos of like major characters from the films and stuff like that. Like I said, like Lando Calrissian is in Outlaws because of course he is. It's a game. It's a game about being a scoundrel, and who's the number one scoundrel not named Han Solo? It's Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, the guy that he won the Millennium Falcon from in a poker game, more or less.
Yeah, so Star Wars Outlaws gets my number 5 spot. Now we'll move on to our number 4 spot. Lucas, what's your number 4 game?
Our number Final Fantasy 4 slot is Final Fantasy 4.
I see what you did there, and I like that.
So yeah, I've always been more of like the action platformer side of the SNES library. Not really dipping much into RPGs beyond like Earthbound. I say that as if like all of the SNES era RPGs that we've played for the podcast, like Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy IV, or I guess in my case Final Fantasy II, because I did play Final Fantasy II, not 4. Like those have all been great games, and it's just because I was more on like the action platformer side of the console than the RPG side of the console that I've never really had them enter my orbit. But what I'd actually like to talk about is the Pixel remaster, because that is the specific version that I want to highlight here, because after completing my playthrough of Final Fantasy II, I started a playthrough of Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster on Steam, and all of the sort of nice quality of life features they threw in made it really conducive to doing another playthrough really quickly. But
yeah, I mean, when I did my playthrough for the podcast, I was done in like 11 hours.
Yeah. I think I was done in 19 for the SNES version, and I almost finished the game a second time playing through the Pixel Remaster with the addition of being able to move faster around the overworld and skip encounters and have boosted experience in Gil.
Which
it's so nice.
Yeah. Like, I don't have a ton of time nowadays with 2 kids and a workplace that requires me to work 6 days a week during the spring. So being able to, just kind of motor through a Final Fantasy game at the same pace that I would, my typical bread butter action platformer type games is a super nice quality of life feature, and it definitely makes me want to, revisit other Final Fantasies that I've beaten and some that I've never had experience with, like actual Final Fantasy 2, maybe 3, definitely 5, because I've heard 5 is incredible.
5 is so good.
I still think I want to read
5. I honestly think 5 might still be like the most underrated game in the franchise, at least the mainline games. Like it's so good, and so many people just overlook it because it's not 6.
Yeah. I do think I still might want to try and beat Final Fantasy 3 6, but there's also the Pixel remaster to play, and that's also incredibly enticing.
Yeah, the Pixel remaster is also like for 6 specifically very, very nice, because well, there's a point in the game where you kind of get blindsided by a difficulty spike if you have not been leveling your entire party evenly.
Right.
And doing that in the original SNES release, very time consuming.
Yeah.
When there is like 14 playable characters in that game.
Yep.
It's my main issue with Final Fantasy VI is it's just bloated roster.
Yeah. Like it's a cool game with a lot of cool characters, but there's too many cool characters to play as.
Yeah.
Like, why does this RPG need a fighting game roster at your disposal?
Yeah, right.
Final Fantasy VII Pixel Remaster when? I want a 2D remake of that game. Give it lower definition.
Final Fantasy VII standard definition remake.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a Mega Man 7 Famicom remake. a pure fan game, but like, where's the Final Fantasy VII pixel remake?
That would actually be a remake of Final Fantasy VII that probably wouldn't take them 2 decades to make.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. I mean, regular Final Fantasy VII is on my to-do list still.
It's so good. If you've got it, if you've got the Steam version, also you can get the
oh yeah, the fully voiced
the voice mod for it. Yeah. I forget what name's escaping me right now, but yeah, there's a full voice mod. There's like an entire like mod like environment for the PC version of Final Fantasy VII where you download this and then you just have a menu that's all of the available mods that are compatible with that installer, and then you just click what ones you want, hit install, it installs it all, sets it all up. You don't have to think about anything. It just works. And the voice mod is part of that. Like it's so good. The original game still holds up so well, especially with all the mod support.
Nice. Yeah. Final Fantasy IV is a cool game, and turns out I like a fully narrative-driven Final Fantasy more than I do like sort of the here you go of Final Fantasy I.
Would you look at that? The guy that doesn't like RPGs is liking RPGs. Ha.
Yeah.
I only have 2 more episodes I can roast you over this for, so you know I'm going to.
Yeah. If anything, throughout the course of the podcast, it's proven that I actually do like RPGs. I just don't know what ones to play.
That's fair.
I steered away from RPGs for so long that I just don't know where to begin.
Well, I can tell you that there are better options out there than Final Fantasy 1 NES. And, well, anyway. Neal, what's your number 4?
Hey, what do you know? It's Final Fantasy IV.
What?
Yeah. No, I very much enjoyed Final Fantasy IV. This was the game where it was like, oh, okay, Final Fantasy is really good. I need to play these games.
Yes, you do.
I will be getting more of the pixel remasters. Like Lucas, probably 5 and 6. I'll probably start with 6, just because, it's 6. I don't know
5 is
how much I'll get in. I will probably think that, but we'll see. I just
you gotta play. You gotta play 6 for like just the notoriety of it.
Yeah, I'm sort of thinking I'm playing in, what would the word be? Not chronological. 1, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3 SNES style is what I mean. But except 1 was NES. Anyway, Final Fantasy numbering is confusing. Probably going to pick up those pixel remasters at some point. I had a ton of fun with 4. The boost stuff that you can get for extra guild and XP that Lucas mentioned made this so much nicer to play through. And yeah, 2D classic Final Fantasy games are really good and up my alley, which shouldn't be surprising because the first RPG I played as a kid was very much just a Final Fantasy game with a Harry Potter skin. So, of course, but yeah, Lucas and Colin have both said a bunch about it, so I'm just gonna pass it over to Colin. What is your number 4 game? If it's Final Fantasy IV, I'll be mad.
I could easily have mentioned Final Fantasy IV because it is one of my favorite games in that franchise. But because I have obviously spoken so highly of the game already in the past, it was kind of like, well, this is obviously a shoo-in if you played it. So I left it off my list. No, my number 4 pick is Silent Hill F. Silent Hill F's in the chat. This is my first Silent Hill game, first experience with the franchise, and I really enjoyed it. It was a nice, like, concise, like 9 hours, I think it took me to beat it. But you follow the main character Hinako as like her town is just kind of being overrun by this like nasty like plant like fungal monstrosity thing that's just like turning all of the people in the town into monsters, and it's just like it's gross, like psychological, like horror stuff. And throughout the course of the game, you're kind of going through two different like planes of existence, basically. Like you've got like the real life being in her town plane, and then you've got like what appears to kind of be like in her mind, I guess. Like it's really ethereal. There's lots of like traditional Japanese architecture and stuff in this area, like the torii gates and stuff like that. Stuff like, and it's like you're almost in like a old temple for that section of the game and stuff. And the game kind of hops back and forth between the two of them during each chapter and stuff like that as the story progresses. But what was really interesting about the game is the time period it takes place in is like 1960s Japan. Like it's really not an era that you see explored a lot in video games. So that was like really interesting and kind of what drew me to it initially, despite having not played any other games in the series before. But yeah, it was a fun ride. There was like I had no idea what was going on the entire time. Still don't know what was going on by the end of it, but like it's I say that in a very like it was done in a very satisfying way that I want to re-experience the game later and see if I can piece things together better. There are multiple endings that kind of reward you for replaying it and stuff, and with it being only 9 hours long, that there's not really that much of a commitment to do so. So I'm looking forward to experiencing it again, maybe this year at some point, and trying to go for one of the other alternative endings to see kind of how things play out in that way and stuff like that. But Silent Hill F, definitely recommend giving that game a try. It's really good if you like survival horror, if you like psychological horror and stuff like that. You know, the one thing I will say though is don't play on the harder difficulties, because the combat in the game is pretty janky, bordering on bad, but in the context of the game, at least at the normal difficulty and the lower difficulty, if you decide to go down to that, I felt it made sense for it to feel that way, because you're playing as a 16-year-old girl. You're not playing as Duke Nukem. So, like, you should feel clumsy because, like, you're playing as a person that's never really been in a position where they have to defend themselves like this before, sort of thing. So, I gave the combat a pass, but
I don't have balls of steel.
yeah. So I personally gave the combat a pass, at least on its base difficulty. I would not personally play it on anything higher than that, because I feel like then like the issues with it would start to kind of bleed through a little bit, and then it's less of a narrative thing and more just frustrating. But yeah, Silent Hill F, good game. Moving on to our number 3 pick, Lucas.
See, my number 3 pick is, believe it or not, another RPG. It's Earthbound Zero. Upon playing this, I've concluded that everything I've heard about this game is a lie. Turns out a lot of the issues that people have with Earthbound Zero can be chalked up to it's an NES game. Unlike the later Mother series games, it has random encounters, which isn't any different than Final Fantasy 1 on the NES or Phantasy Star on the Sega Master System. The game has a good story to it. Some of the air quotes dungeons, because it's set in sort of a modern 1980s world. Like Duncan's factory in particular kind of drags on for a bit. Just because it's a big empty factory for you to explore. And yeah. So yeah, I like the encounter rate never really bothered me. The difficulty spike towards the end is kind of real, but at that point, Anna, who is your primary psi user, is decently leveled, and like even if you just even if you have her leveled up to the point where she has PK freeze gamma, combat can be really simplified just because PK freeze gamma will set the enemy to critical, which puts it down to like single digit HP, which then your other party members at the time, whether it be Ninten or Lloyd or Teddy, can easily clean them up in one hit. And then not too far after you get PK freeze gamma comes PK beam gamma, which is just a one-hit kill attack. And then even further beyond that, if you're willing to grind up the levels for it, Anna gets PK Fire Omega, which works very differently than it does in the later Earthbound games, where it is like a full party wipe for the enemies. It is
Holy crap.
Yeah, you use PK Fire and it deals lethal damage to every enemy.
Dang.
Yeah. So like, yeah, the ending of the game can be difficult, but at the same time, your late game psi attacks include set the enemy to 1 or 2 HP for your other party members to kill, one hit kill, or full enemy party wipe.
Gross.
Also late game with the addition of Teddy. Teddy is an incredibly high damage output physical attacker. And he moves fast. It managed to outspeed Anna, who was my fastest party member, pretty consistently. So often it would be like Teddy takes out one enemy by himself with how hard he hits, and then the other enemies that would show up would be dealt with PK Freeze Gamma and Ninten with a cleanup hit. Having the Onyx hook and being able to warp back to Magicant whenever you feel like is really nice, because Magicant has one of the denizens living there acts as your inventory manager, so you don't have to go all the way back to Ninten's house to talk to his sister, because you don't have the luxury of calling the Escargo Express in Earthbound. And there's a free hospital there, so if you lose any party members, because it's an NES RPG, so items were kind of limited. They didn't have a revival item. You could just warp back to Magicant and revive your party member for free. And sure, the walk back is a little tedious, but at the same time, it's more free experience for your party because you're backtracking through areas you've already been to. And there's some other quirks in Magicant, like you can go pick red weeds and drop them in the fountain to get magic herbs, which are recovery items that will recover 30 HP for you. There isn't really anything for PP recovery items either, but at the same time, Final Fantasy I on the NES didn't have them either, so why is that a negative point for that? That's just how NES RPGs are. And yeah, in traditional Earthbound fashion, the final boss is like very sort of thinking outside of the box for how you combat them. Because when you're fighting Gygas at the end of Earthbound 0, you have to, wait out their monologue, and then after that, you can have your party members start singing the 8 melodies to him, and he starts going berserk because he can't take the sound of the melodies because it reminds him of the good times that he spent with Maria and George when they were abducted and living with Gygas. And yeah, you do that 11 times, and then Gygas is defeated. He leaves. And
until the sequel.
Until the sequel. when Gygas returns. So yeah, overall, I thought Earthbound Zero was a pretty good NES RPG, and a lot of its quirks are just sort of par for the course with NES RPGs that I've played. Like, I didn't find it to be an obnoxiously difficult game like it had been made out to me for so many years, just hanging around starmen.net and seeing Let's Plays of it. And yeah, if you're a fan of the Mother series games, it's definitely worth checking out for at least one playthrough. I think in the future, if I ever revisit the series, yeah, I'll probably skip over it because Earthbound and Mother 3 are just better games. But it, I'm glad to have completed it once, and I'm glad that I can say that I have beaten every game in the Mother series now.
Yeah.
Again, though, I know I've already kind of ragged on you in this episode, and in the last game you talked about, no less. But
Yes.
like, for someone that doesn't like RPGs, you seem to have a knack of playing the worst ones or the
Yeah.
worst versions of the good ones and still enjoying them. So anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not
Look,
letting you live it down.
good. I deserve to not live it down at this point with the
Good.
amount of RPGs I've enjoyed throughout the podcast.
Good.
Oh, and you know what? I'm not going to stop playing the worst versions either. Probably.
Yeah, probably not.
It's just what I do.
Mhm.
Yeah, like nothing against Final Fantasy II SNES. Like, it's a good game. It's just, the full experience is Final Fantasy IV, and that added a bunch of separate recovery items for status effects instead of just having a multi-purpose heal item, which is whatever. And it's still not as easy as Easy Type because Easy Type was based off of Final Fantasy II SNES. So yeah, I'll probably continue to play bad NES or Super Nintendo RPGs because that's just what I do. I don't mind bad NES mechanics because that was my first game console, and you know what? A lot of that can be chalked up to it's an NES game.
Yeah.
Like, this is the console that revived the video game industry. Like, it's gonna have some good and some bad, and you just kind of have to take it as is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in Metroid groups on Facebook, I see people complain about Metroid 1 being a bad game. It's like, no, it's a pretty good game, but it's an NES game.
Yeah.
And once you've reconciled with it's an NES game, it's going to be like that. It's a good game.
Yeah, there are definitely bad games on the NES. Metroid isn't one of them.
Metroid is
here we go.
far from one of them.
Anyway, Neal, number 3. What you got?
Well, I didn't sync up the numbers this time. I have Super Mario Advance 1 for the Game Boy Advance, also known as their port of Super Mario Bros. 2. Well, this one was a ton of fun because I played this game via borrowing it a long time ago from one of my friends at daycare. And Super Mario Bros. 2 always fascinated me. I don't know why exactly, but something with it clicked more than normal actual Mario Bros. And I've never actually beaten it. I've seen some Let's Plays, but I recently realized, hey, that has rewind on Switch Online. Why don't I give it a shot? And I did, and I liked it. It's really hard. I'm glad I had rewind, or I probably wouldn't have liked it. But yeah, Doki Doki Panic is a cool series. Kind of wish there was like a follow up to it of some kind, whether it's Super Mario Bros. 2 or something. I don't know. But it is a very unique combat system, which I kind of like, the tossing and stuff. I know they did kind of incorporate it into World, but not quite the same.
Yeah.
I don't have much else to say about it other than this is as far as you'll go.
Yeah. Oh, Bert.
I'll pass it over to Colin. I don't have much to say about this other than good game. Had fun.
Good game is good.
Yeah.
My number 3 is a game with 3 in the title. Actually, it just kind of worked out that way. You guys did your Final Fantasy 4 thing. My number 3 is Xenosaga Episode 3. The final game in the Xenosaga series, which was supposed to only be the midway point originally, because it was planned to be 6 games. This is one of the best RPGs in the PlayStation 2. Full stop. I mean,
Nice.
The GOAT is always going to be Final Fantasy X, but Xenosaga 3 is just an incredible game. It was one of the first games that I actually finished this year. Actually, I started off the year by finally playing through Episode 2 and Episode 3 back to back.
Nice.
Because I think I played Xenosaga Episode 1 in like 2023. So I was like, okay, I need to finish this. Like, Xenoblade X Definitive Edition was coming up. It's like, I need to finish the Saga series before Xenoblade X came out. So that way, I have all of the Xeno games. I had, to that point, beaten all the Xeno games. Good to go. But, Xenosaga Episode 3 is just great. It's culmination in gameplay of the entire series to that point. Like, there's mech battles, and they are the best feeling mech battles in the series. Like, it's all still turn-based. Like, you're not doing like real-time combat or anything like that, but like the combat mechanics change depending on if you are fighting with your party on foot or if you're fighting in your mechs and stuff. And the gameplay mechanics in the mech combat in Xenosaga 3 are really good. Just the way that the game ends the series, even though it kind of was forced into the position of having to like wrap everything up abruptly instead of being able to just kind of be the midway point in the series that kind of started to build stuff up. Just the way the game wrapped up the story that the 3 games were telling was really, really good. It was great game. Great game. I really wish Bandai Namco would re-release it with the other 2, because man, having to spend almost $300 for a PlayStation 2 game kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And it's such a good game, and it would sell so much better nowadays than it did back then. Like, there's such a fan base out there for the Xeno series now. Like, if Square Enix would re-release Xenogears and Bandai Namco would re-release Xenosaga, they would sell.
Yeah.
But yet they just don't do it.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is my number 3 pick. Now we are into the runner-up picks. Number 2, Lucas.
Yeah. So my number 2 pick, sort of a casual favorite nowadays, it's Mario Party Jamboree.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that game.
Yeah, me too. The Mario Party games are like sort of the first games that Becca and I really ever played together when we started dating. They've been favorites of ours pretty much ever since. And most recently with Mario Party Jamboree, we got my parents hooked on them. So we've been, fairly often been sitting down with them to play a game together. And with our big Christmas gift this year of Becca and I both getting Switch 2s, we actually gifted our Switch 1 to my parents with a copy of Mario Party Jamboree and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Super Mario Wonder. So, been
nice.
So yeah, I've been seeing that my mom's been playing. She just earlier today even sent us a picture that she had won a game with collecting 5 stars throughout it.
Nice.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, so I've played Jamboree a couple times with my brother and his wife. and I don't know how it keeps happening, but like Sarah is ridiculously good at that game. I win almost all the mini games. Like I win those and still end up losing to Sarah in the end in the actual board game. Actually, I think the last time we played, Ian won. But like,
Nice.
yeah, like I could be. That's the funny thing about that game is like you can be really, really good at the mini games, but that's only like one part of it. There's still like the whole luck of the draw in the board game and how you manage the way the board game plays out and stuff. Yeah, it's a fun game.
Yeah, it's fun for the whole family.
It is, literally.
Yeah. Even Mavis gets excited when we play it, and she likes to sort of, cheerleading and announcing the things as they happen in the game when we're playing it. Yeah. It's like if anyone gets a star, she'll like go over and give high fives to them.
That's fun.
Calls out all our dice rolls, that you did it whenever someone wins a mini game. It's so much fun for the whole family.
That is fun. I just think pretty soon she'll be playing it herself.
Yeah.
And then she will know the frustration of defeat.
Or she'll curb stomp me because she started Mario Party at such an early age. It's like I didn't really get heavily into the Mario Party games until Mario Party 8 on the Wii. That's the one that Becca and her sister got for the Wii.
Now, this is actually the first time that I've actually bought a Mario Party game.
Yeah.
But it's a good first Mario Party game to buy.
Yeah. 8's also a very good first game if you're willing to go for an older platform, but like I think over Super Mario Party Jamboree is definitely the best first Mario Party you can get right now.
Yeah, it's really good.
And there's a enhanced version on the Switch too, if you want to go even newer than the Switch 1.
Yeah. Has those weird camera additions that are weird.
Yeah, that's short and sweet number 2 entry for me.
Yeah, what's Neal got for number 2?
Metroid Fusion.
Ooh, that's a good one.
This is a very good one. I have been waiting to play this game for years. I got a physical copy quite a few years before we started the show. And
oh, hey, me too.
I got to the first boss and struggled, decided to drop it. And by the time I was like, Metroid would be good, because I think I got Dread and was like, I should play Metroid Fusion. The show had already started, and it was like, well, I should wait for it to come up on the show. Can have more first impressions. Definitely a hard one. One of these games that I haven't finished, but I've gotten so close that I don't care. But loved this game.
You were at the final SAX fight, if I remember correctly.
Correct. Yeah. Yep. And even with Rewind, I was struggling. I did not have all the power-ups. I got to a point where you could no longer go back, and I realized at that point I was like, oh, well, I was planning to look for more stuff, but now I can't. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Still thoroughly enjoyed it. I know people like Super Metroid more for the open-endedness, but honestly, I really like the story of Metroid Fusion.
Yeah.
Frozen Ridley is one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Just walk into a room and it's like, there's a Ridley sickle here. But speaking of that, there's also a lot of like storytelling through gameplay. Like you come back to that room at a later point and Ridley sickle is gone. Oh no. But yeah, had some cool enemies. I love like that the enemies are also like your life as well. That's super creative, and it makes sense story-wise. Great game. Metroid games are great. I need to play through Dread properly now since I've played Fusion.
Yeah.
on my list for games to play. Yeah. I'd also like to play Zero Mission too. That might happen first.
Zero Mission
is also really good.
Yeah. Metroid, good series. Wish I was clued into it earlier in my life. Dang, it's fun.
Yeah.
Also has some great music, considering it's a Game Boy Advance game.
Yeah.
Atmosphere is the name of the game in that game.
And it sure provides one.
Uh-huh.
A livable atmosphere, even. An atmosphere that accurately recreated the surface conditions of planet SR388, which is ideal for Metroid growth. I wonder why they would do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that you kill all the Metroids, and there's still more Metroids in pretty much every game.
Yep. Yeah,
somehow the Metroids returned.
The intro to Super Metroid is the last Metroid is in captivity, the galaxy is at peace, and they still managed to screw that up.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The rest have all died.
For now.
For now. Until the sequel.
The last Metroid until there's another Metroid.
Yeah. I also want to look into Metroid 4, but that's a bit more expensive than my NSO expansion pack price.
Yeah.
And the fact that I already own Dread. Yeah, Colin, what's your, what are we on, 4? What's your 4? No, 2. This is 2. We're going 5 to 1.
Yeah, the one that's divisible by 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is also 2. 4 but divided by 2. That's what I meant. Anyway, we're good at this. We're great at numbers.
358 over 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Number 2. So I mentioned during the honorable mentions when Kingdom Hearts 3 was sadly bumped out of my top 5, that it was due to a game that I just beat today, right before we started recording this. But I began playing it in 2025, so I'm counting it because I want to talk about it because it's really good. That game is Like a Dragon, Pirates Yakuza in Hawaii. The Majima game.
Yeah.
It is the most Majima game that has ever existed ever. It is incredible. It's so good. Like, oh my god. So basically, like, premise of the game is it takes place after, but also concurrently with Infinite Wealth. No, not back up. It takes place after Infinite Wealth. And basically Majima has lost his memory. How did he lose his memory? He was going to check out this island that is an important island to the story of Infinite Wealth. And on his way to this island, the ship he was on got attacked by a giant squid, and he bonked his head. And then he washed up ashore on this other island that is not the same island that he was going to investigate, to check up on and stuff. Washed up on this other island, no memory, almost dead. This kid named Noah finds him on the beach and helps him, nurses him to health. And from then on, he decides that he's gonna take Noah off of this island from which he has spent his entire 10 years of his life on and show him the world. How is he going to show him the world? He's going to become a pirate captain on a pirate ship, and they are going to sail the seas around Hawaii and be pirates. So that is how Pirate Majima was born. And it's such a fun game. You get to run through the streets of Honolulu again, just like in Infinite Wealth, but now you get like the classic real-time beat-em-up style combat instead of the turn-based in Infinite Wealth. So the whole city exploration just feels entirely different because of that. Because you're not being interrupted by turn-based battles all the time. You're just playing it real-time like a classic Yakuza game. And the 2 stances that you get for Majima are both really, really fun. I tended to gravitate more toward the pirate stance just because like the two swords were really fun, and you get a grappling hook that lets you zip around and pull yourself to enemies and stuff. That was really fun.
Grappling hook?
Yes.
Cool.
It's got a grappling hook. But like the main thing I want to focus on is the ship combat, because like it's a pirate game. It's very obviously taken inspiration from Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Like it's all of the pirate games that have come out since then. Like it's impossible to not look at that game and be like, this is kind of how we want to present ours as well. It feels like that, but also it doesn't. Like it's very, very much still a Yakuza game at its core, but with pirate ships. The ship combat is very, very arcadey. It's a lot less like Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag was. I wouldn't say it was realistic, but it tried to be more so than what Pirate Yakuza is doing. Like, for instance, in Pirate Yakuza, you get machine gun turrets, for starters, because this is modern day pirates. This is not like historically accurate pirates. Like, these are pirates in the year of our Lord 2024, I think this game takes place in. So, but they are in like actual pirate ships. Yeah, but they are in actual pirate ships though. Like they're not in like modern day ships. They're in actual pirate ships. But they have like rocket launchers and laser cannons because it's a Yakuza game.
Yep.
Machine guns and stuff. So it's wild. It's fun. The ship sailing and stuff and exploration out at sea is broken up into smaller areas as opposed to being like one big open world like Black Flag is. And you unlock different areas as the story progresses and as a specific side story progresses as well that is more focused on the pirate side of things. But yeah, such a fun game. Like I said, it's the most Majima game that could possibly ever be made. It's just, it's so good.
Yeah, like bonking your head after a giant squid attack and deciding to become a pirate is still 100% in character for Majima.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Like the humor in this game is great. Like
he really said, I don't remember anything, but I have an eye patch, so I must be a pirate.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But yeah, and like I wouldn't say I was expecting it to be, because I don't go into games with this mentality and stuff, unlike a certain section of the gaming community tends to. But like when there is just a random addition of a child sidekick in a game, you just kind of expect them to be this annoying little nuisance and stuff. But I can definitely say that Noah was not the case. Noah is a fantastic, endearing character. I loved that kid to death, and the bond that he forms with Majima genuinely brought tears to my eyes at certain points in the game. Like, love that kid and love this game. So, highly recommend playing it after you play the rest of the games in the Yakuza series. So, you got your work cut out for you before you get there, but it's worth it when you get there. Very much worth it. Now, this is usually the part where we remember to do our honorable mentions, but since we remembered to do them at the start of this section this year, we can talk about our number one game of 2025. So, Lucas, what's yours?
It's another classic of sorts. It's Clone Hero.
Nice.
So, for those not familiar with Clone Hero, it is a rhythm game, but it is of a specific rhythm game variety that can largely be referred to as plastic guitar games. For the longest time, I had a Xbox 360 Guitar Hero 3 Les Paul controller, just kind of collecting dust, and then one day I decided, I'm just gonna buy an adapter for it so that I can try out Clone Hero. And I have had so much fun reliving sort of the glory days of the plastic guitar game by like going back and playing through sort of the Guitar Hero games that I missed from back then, because they did have a bit of a saturation problem towards the end where it was like getting annual releases and then you were getting full band specific expansions like Guitar Hero Aerosmith and Metallica and Van Halen. Um, there's Band Hero, which was
Yeah, what even was Band Hero? Was that just like Guitar
Band
Hero's first attempt at trying to do like the full band rock band thing?
Technically their second attempt, because Guitar Hero World Tour came out first, but it's sort of carrying that idea, but with more like full band focus rather than just like, Guitar Hero is always kind of driven by, Guitar Heroing first, and then the other instruments were sort of secondary, 4 and onwards. Like there's charts or there's songs in like Guitar Hero 5 that are focused more towards your drummers and bassists and vocalists, but Band Hero was very much more like sort of the all band experience. And it also was a lot more, it wasn't quite as rock focused as the Guitar Hero series is. There's a lot of sort of more contemporary stuff, more pop hits in it, country stuff. Like one of the big features of it was that there was some Taylor Swift tracks in it back when she was starting to blow up. I couldn't tell you which one on the set list it was, but one of those Taylor Swift songs completely bodied me, and I only ended up with like a 52% clear on it.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see. They had Black Cat by Janet Jackson off of Rhythm Nation 1814, which is an incredible song. Yeah, always kind of been a big fan of Janet Jackson, particularly like Control and Rhythm Nation era. So yeah, that was cool to play. Had everybody was kung fu fighting. But since this is sort of like a community driven recreation of Guitar Hero, sort of specifically like the Guitar Hero 3 and onward engine, and key here is community driven. There is charts for all sorts of songs, both like guitar, bass, and drum. Doesn't support vocals, but there is another similar project called Yard, which stands for Yet Another Rhythm Game, which is based more on like the Rock Band games. And that does include vocals and also has some cool features that Clone Hero doesn't have, like fully rendered 3D backgrounds instead of just like either a black void where there is no background or user created videos to go along with the songs. So yeah, I dipped into songs that I nowadays would have loved to have seen in a Guitar Hero game in the past, but unlikely to happen in the future, like Zombie Ritual by Death, Thrash Jazz Assassin by Naked City. It's a like jazz grindcore fusion group, brainchild of avant-garde saxophonist John Zorn. You Suffer by Napalm Death, all 5 notes of it.
But why?
Speed running rhythm game.
Yeah. So, they've got charts for all sorts of stuff. Like, and there's also, of course, meme charts, which are like goofy mashups made up of songs and accumulated memes throughout the Clone Hero and Guitar Hero custom community. Like, got I think I have Through the Table and the Memes which is a memeified version of Through the Fire and the Flames by Dragon Force. It's BS Parade by Rage Against the Strum Bar by Bandy Pat and Cosmic Latte. And I think probably the highlight of the weird obscure charts that I have is I have Shrek. It's a full soundtrack play along to Shrek 1.
I was there when he played it. It was amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's Shrek from start to finish, including the ending credits and all of the songs through that. And then, because it wouldn't be me without some Emerson, Lake and Palmer in there, I've got charts for Tarkus, which is a nice 20-minute long song. Plays along almost entirely with Keith Emerson's keyboard parts, so it's almost entirely tap notes with a couple of guitar sections, when Greg Lake plays the guitar riff leading into Mass. And then, would it be Karn Evil 9 if I didn't have Karn Evil 9? And it's all three movements of Karn Evil 9 back to back for a good half-hour long keyboard tap note fest. Got a couple other absurdly long ones too, a full album playthrough of In the Court of the Crimson King by King Crimson, their debut album. 21st Century Skits, Man, I Talk to the Wind, Epitaph, Moonchild, and In the Court of the Crimson King. Good hour-long playthrough. Then I have yet to try the chart out yet, but I did find a chart for Crimson by Edge of Sanity, which is a 40-minute long progressive death metal concept album song. So that'll be a test of endurance for sure.
Yeah.
And then just kind of one smaller note, it's sort of a meme chart. It's Centipede by Knife Party. This is a meme chart version of Centipede by Knife Party, put together by Cosmic Latte, that has some stupid long tap note trills that I've gotten really good at. And a lot of this was before I even got a hold of my birthday present for this year, which turns out this year of all years, getting into Clone Hero was great because Cracked, CRKD, announced early on in 2025 that they had partnered with Gibson to make a brand new Gibson Les Paul guitar controller for
Yeah.
that they advertise it mainly for Fortnite Festival, because that is currently the plastic guitar game that you can play. But they have a multi-platform and a Xbox version of it. And the multi-platform version allows use for playing on PC, so you can do stuff like Clone Hero and Yarg. In the PC versions of Guitar Hero 3 and Guitar Hero World Tour. Fortnite Festival, obviously. But it's also backwards compatible with the PlayStation 3 Guitar Heroes and Rock Band games, which Colin also got a cracked Les Paul.
Yes, I did.
And so confirmed that it works pretty okay on the PlayStation 3. If I remember correctly, I had to do a little troubleshooting for it to fully work properly.
For the most part, it is 100% plug and play. I've only ever tried it wired. I haven't tried it wireless, but for latency's sake, it's best to just use the wire anyway.
Yep.
But it's fully plug and play with the PS3. The issue I ran into specifically with Green Day Rock Band, which is the only game I've had a chance to test it in yet, is just it was really, really difficult to get the latency configured properly. even with the manual latency configuration within the game, it still felt a little bit off, but it works.
Yeah. But yeah, the cracked Les Paul is really what sold me on getting back into plastic guitar games, because it is a fantastic controller for what it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I got the pro version with the mechanical button fret, or mechanical fret buttons, and they later upgraded the Encore edition. Originally, the Encore edition was just going to have like mechanical switch fret buttons, which is how it is on sort of your original Guitar Hero controller controls. They upgraded it to a Hall effect strum bar with adjustable haptic feedback through the Cracked app. So yeah, nice mechanical fret buttons, Hall effect or haptic feedback, Hall effect strum bar for really fluid strumming. I think I could have gotten through a song like Zombie Ritual with how fast the you downloaded a tab at one point for Zombie Ritual.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Only to discover it was like what was it?
The tab was at like half the actual like it had like half the notes that the actual song did, basically.
Yeah, it was like half tempo 30-second note strums or something like that. It was ridiculous, and
it was
honestly,
just wrong.
Yeah.
When I tried to listen next to the actual song, it was like, wait, something is wrong. I feel like this tab is missing notes, and a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to play along with the actual song, and I cannot keep up.
Yeah. Chuck Schuldiner was built different, I guess. But yeah, it's a incredible feeling controller for plastic guitar game purposes, and they have since released a limited edition cherry burst of the Les Paul controller, and they've got a black SG controller coming out, and they've also announced that they're working on a drum set as well. So Cracked is kind of playing a major role right now in reviving the plastic guitar game or plastic instrument game, rhythm game genre, which is super cool because I think deep down inside, those that kind of grew up with Guitar Hero really miss it. And
Yep.
Yeah.
I was really excited when Fortnite Festival came out.
Yeah.
And by the way, that guitar is compatible with Fortnite Festival.
Yep.
But yeah. So, Neal, what's your final game?
My final game, of course, is my former favorite game of all time. Now my second favorite game of all time, after Celeste. And our most recent That One game, and my suggestion for TOG that I've been holding on to the longest, Mother 3. This game is good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I like Mother 3 a lot. Gameplay wise, fixes a bunch of issues that Earthbound has the best Mother story. Needs to be released here, but I am getting to the point where I don't think that's ever going to happen. But no, play this game. Feel free to play Earthbound first. You will get some better context of the story. But just be aware it's not quite as polished as Mother 3. Still a great game though. Thoroughly enjoy it. Mother 3 has like a 1 weak spot being its inventory system. God, good game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I absolutely recommend playing Mother 3. There's not really too much that's stopping you. Download an emulator of some sort. BizHawk. If you're on a Mac, grab open the EMU. Not going to talk too much more about that or how to acquire the game itself, but you probably know, and it has to do with something Colin was just mentioning, except a little less literally.
That was?
Yeah, what's his name? Majima? That guy. What he was doing in that game. Yeah.
Oh. Aha.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But yeah.
He was bonking his head and losing his memory?
Yeah,
That's how you play Mother 3?
Yeah.
I mean, that does happen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I wish I could bonk my head and lose my memory so I could experience Final Fantasy X for the first time again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mother 3 too. I wish I had played through it when I first consumed the game, but it was a Let's Play, which was still really good. That Let's Play ended with fully voice acted sections of the dialogue. That was a good Let's Play. Sugar Conroy, one of his earlier Let's Plays. But yeah, no, Mother 3, please play it. Please become one of the people begging Nintendo to bring it to America. They don't even have to do much work. If they don't want to, Tomatoes got it all fully translated.
A professional localizer that has worked with Funimation has translated this.
Yup. And they're totally fine. They're not going to sue or anything. They've explicitly said, go ahead, use our stuff. The translation is easy to get your hands on. You can find, you don't even necessarily have to patch it. There's plenty of ways to find pre-patched. Once again, zigzagging around the topic here. It's so accessible if you know your way around a computer. Play Mother 3. Apparently, Reggie posted a link to that Mother clip that Robot Chicken did for an E3. Reggie linked to it on Mother's Day at one point. Yeah. He's in on it.
Good.
Yeah. Yep. Colin, what's your final pick?
Yeah. Well, let's see here. My favorite game that I played in 2025 was Ghost of Yote, the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, which is also a game that I played in 2025 that is also very, very good. But I played that game when it came out also because it was very good. And Ghost of Yote is just as good, maybe better in some places. The story follows Atsu on her quest for revenge after her family is murdered by these 6 bounty hunters. Are they bounty hunters? They're just 6 bad men murder her parents, and she goes to get revenge. And it's a very, very like the way the story unfolds and as it gradually progresses and just where it ends up is very, very touching and emotional, and I love it. It's a phenomenal game. I spent a lot of time on that game. I think it's, of all the games I played this year, it's probably the game I spent the most time in. I think my playthrough was over 50 hours. Spent a lot of time. Very, very good open world game, and I really enjoyed it. Yep. Ghost of Yote is my game of the year. Congratulations. Yeah. Yeah. That's our game of the year stuff. Yay. We did it. Yeah. Next segment is our weekly link to the past. And y'all, them's be some slim pickings in January.
Holy cow. Between today and release date, there is one relevant game.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
Yeah. So, yeah. So this week's Link to the Past is released on the date that this episode goes live, the 7th of January, but all the way back in 2003, 23 years ago, Crash Bandicoot 2 Entranced. Haha, I got you there. You thought I was going to say whatever the other Crash Bandicoot 2 title is that I can't think of. Anyway, this one was a
Cortex's
sequel
Revenge?
to.
Yeah,
Something like that, I guess.
Revenge of Cortex.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was the sequel to the Game Boy Advance Crash Bandicoot game, The Huge Adventure.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
have that
side
one.
scroller instead of being like 3D. But yeah, I also own The Huge Adventure, but I didn't even know they made a sequel.
Me neither. I probably did.
Going back to our tangent.
But apparently did, and it released 23 years ago.
23?
Going back to our tangent, it is a Star Wars reference, the PlayStation version. It's Cortex Strikes Back.
Ah.
Of course it is.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. Because that was back when Naughty Dog had a sense of humor, and they weren't just trying to be the most seriousness of serious game developers, and
Yep.
and they weren't milking the same game for over a decade. But that's beside the point.
Didn't they release a trailer for something not Last of Us?
They did, but like, there's like no telling when that game is actually going to come out. Like they like no one knows when that game is going to come out. It could be a PlayStation 6 launch title for all we know. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
In the meantime, go play Crash 4. I've heard it's great, and the animation is fantastic.
Well, it's about time.
It is about time.
It's about time to be done with this episode. Ha ha. Yeah. Sorry, we don't really have much to say about this random sequel to a random like GBA spin-off to a PlayStation game.
Yeah.
The Huge Adventure like to talk about Lawnmower versus Zombies instead.
Yeah.
Or Fitness Boxing for the Nintendo Switch.
Good Game Boy Advance game.
It was a decent side scrolling platformer on the GBA. Yeah. It was all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the end of our Game of the Year episode 89. As always, if you liked what you heard here today, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. Do I need to read this stuff off? We have one episode left after this. Anyway, that's the end of this episode. We're gonna be back in a couple weeks with our farewell episode. But until then, have a wonderful rest of your day, and remember,
stay for the cows.
Stay for the bears.